Have you ever had someone crash into your life? Intense, magnetic, unforgettable, only to leave you more confused than whole? Today, we're diving into the wild world of karmic partners. These connections are powerful, chaotic, and often painful, but they're never accidents. If you've ever wondered why you can't let someone go, or if you were meant to hold on at all, stay with me. It's time to learn how to honor the contract and let go with grace. I want to welcome you to Mystical Minds, the podcast where magic meets modern life and the metaphysical isn't just possible, it's personal. I'm your host, Allie Thies. I'm an intuitive energy worker, soul connection specialist, and the former host of Ask Allie, the longest running spiritual podcast on Apple Podcasts with 19 incredible seasons. Over the years, I've written 8 books, including the Gypsy Magic series, Out of Body Ecstasy, Gypsy Girl's Guide to Goals, one spicy erotic novel, and a chapter in the best selling book, Sacred Self, where I shared how to create a bedroom that truly invites love. I've been walking the mystical path since childhood, and now I help others remember who they really are through intuitive readings, soul work, and the safe, sacred place of the Mystical Minds community. This podcast is your invitation to explore the magical, metaphysical, and the wildly mysterious side of life. From energy healing to spirit guides, soulmates to sacred rituals, nothing is off limits here. So grab your tea, light a candle, and let's dive into the mystery together. Hello, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful last week. Um, for those of you, was last week Easter? No, week before was Easter. So I told you, if you had a nice Easter, fantastic. If you had a nice Sunday that day, absolutely fantastic. This past weekend, I had a really good time. I traveled to Pittsburgh to go see John Waite in concert. If you don't know who John Waite is, please look him up. He's fabulous. He has been fabulous since the 70s. It was just, I had a really nice weekend, which is fantastic because this Friday, May 2nd, is my birthday. Hard to believe I'll be 58 years old. I mean, what the hell? Where's the time gone? I have no idea. When I started doing podcasts, I was still in my early 30s. Um, yeah, it's been what, 20 years? Easy? Yeah, I was 38. Boy, oh boy, these last 20 years have surely been interesting. And speaking of interesting, let's move forward with the card of the week. This week I'm using the Dream Weaver's Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. Um, I love this deck. I just got it a couple weeks ago. It is very whimsical. If you like whimsical decks, this one is it. And it doesn't matter if you're listening to this part, the card of the week, today or 5 years from now. Whenever you listen to this episode of the podcast, this card is meant for you for the week. All right? It could be now, it could be 20 years in the future. This card is meant for you. All right. So let's see what card we've got for everyone in the future, everyone. Whoever listens to this episode. Well, these cards are really stiff, but let us see. So whimsical. So for this week, oh my goodness. Here we go. So what card did we get? I don't even know what this thing is. We got number 44, which numerology wise is a master number. Weavers know that all is God. Let us look this up, shall we? And I believe God, goddess, divine, spiritual, whatever you want to call God, if you want to call God anything, that is what I think when I see the word God. So, the essential meaning of this card is that the conscious universe is the source of supply. Spirit is fundamental to life. The mystical is the primary reality. Okay, so this is interesting here. The conscious universe is the source of supply. You know, we work and we work and we work to try to, make ends meet. And with the current administration in the United States, it makes it a little bit more difficult to work and work and make ends meet. But we're always assuming that it's us that has to work, 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 right? Um, Always putting forth the effort, always thinking that the supply of abundance, the supply of money is within us, which it's all our doing, so to speak. Where the divine powers that be, God, goddess, that's the source. Powers that be is the source of everything. And that source connects directly to our soul, okay? Because our soul is infinite and goes time after time, lifetime after lifetime. When we have a difficult time making ends meet, bringing in abundance, having confusion, not knowing what to do, it's because somewhere there is a block between the infinite source that's around us and our soul. When that passageway is open and flowing, there is no difficulty with abundance. There is no difficulty with prosperity and feeling whole and having and being happy. Yes, our human brains are wired for negativity. They really are. Um, in school, mind body medicine, PhD. Trust me, they're wired for negativity. Um, but our soul is not. Okay, our soul knows a hell of a lot more than we do as a human, and so does the source. So if you're finding yourself running into brick walls about finances, abundance, attracting love, whatever it is you're trying to attract into your life, there is a bump in the road between yourself and source. Okay. Um, there are different ways to work on that. And I think I'll write a blog post about that. That is a really good idea. I got to write that down so I don't forget. Uh, Blog post, vine, blockage, soul, and source. All right. So there is a book, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. Where is said book? Who's it by? It is by John Price. Where is that mouse of mine? John Price, and I believe it's called just called Abundance. And John Price is the author. Let me see, John Price. I think that's his name. Yes, it's called The Abundance Book. John Randolph Price, and I'll have a link to it in the show's notes. So you should look below, and the link shall be there, along with the link to the deck of cards that I used today in case you want to check them out. But the Abundance Book is supposed to help you um, sift that, that, that block, thinking that you are the source of everything in your life, and you're not. You're the vessel that receives things from source. And the book, with its daily writing prompts and meditation, is what helps you. It helps you flip the way you think. All right, so I highly suggest it. Um, I'm working through it now because I always I always like to work through it in case, any speed bump my body my energy may bring up at some point in time. I want to nip that in the bud ahead of time. You know what I mean? All right. So, thank you for sticking with me. Let's go on to the mystical item of the week. And, interesting enough, the mystical item of the week is the cord cutting selenite wand. And you can use this to cleanse and clear lingering karmic attachments or attractions. Run it around your body or place it over your heart during meditation to support release and forgiveness. Again, that is the cord cutting selenite wand. It's used to cleanse and clear lingering karmic attachments. Run it around your body or place it over your heart during meditation to support release and forgiveness. And selenite is the second stone I recommend everyone have in their home. Its first one's always amethyst. Everybody should always have an amethyst in their house. The second is selenite. It's a wondrous, wondrous stone that helps to clear your energy, your aura, um, and to make the area around you not so heavy, not so worrisome, which I think we all need, right? So selenite and amethyst work well together. Work well. If you have a lot of chaos in your house, if it's very busy, if there are a lot of arguments, mayhaps, amethyst and selenite would be two wonderful stones to put in the area where the arguments usually occur. So if you're fighting in the living room, put them in the living room. If you're usually fighting in the bedroom, put them in the bedroom. If you can get one for the living room and one for the bedroom, absolutely fantastic. Do that. But wherever there's the most chaos, that's where you put the stones. All right, and they don't have to be out in the open. You can put it behind a TV if you'd like, or behind a lamp, on the floor behind your maybe little table and a light. If you don't want people to see them, that's okay. They don't have to see them. The energy will still work. Now, talking about energy, let's move forward to the main topic today, which is all about karmic partners, the chaos, the contracts, and letting go with grace. So, what are karmic partners really? A karmic partner is someone your soul agreed with before you ever became incarnated, okay? Incarnated to meet up in this life, okay? The two of you meeting in this lifetime was put in your soul contract. The purpose isn't a lifelong love or a fairy tale ending. It's growth. Rapid, sometimes painful, but transformative growth. Karmic partners are different from a twin flame or somebody that is in your soul cluster. Okay, your soul cluster or your soul family in the egg carton. Karmic partners, well, soulmates, they can feel peaceful inside the egg carton, soul cluster, soul family, and twin flames can ignite spiritual awakening. Karmic partners often feel like an emotional hurricane. Okay. It's very intense. They're magnetic. They're unforgettable, but they're not always healthy. Common signs of a karmic relationship include immediate, overwhelming connection, emotional highs that can feel addictive, reoccurring conflicts that never seem to resolve, feeling stuck, obsessed, or maybe like you're trapped in just some kind of loop. Think of a karmic partner like a mirror that shatters instead of a simply reflecting back to you. They force you to see parts of yourself that you might otherwise avoid, and that's the point. And you know what? I'm sitting here thinking about, I'm thinking as I'm reading this that I wrote all this and I completely forgot about Ted. Oh, Ted, I'm so sorry, honey. Um, Ted is um oh my God. Oh, thank you, menopause. You effing pain in my ass. Soul family, soul cluster. Ted is part of my soul cluster, and he very much has been a karmic partner over the years. I don't know if he is one in this lifetime, unless it's just with our dreaming, because our energy connection. Because although I have not met him physically in this world, anytime we connect energetically, it is a very big whoosh. I don't even know how to describe it. And he he has showed the mirror to me before and had me face things that I never wanted to face. So yeah, my dream times are not all fairy tales and rainbows. Sometimes they're really, really intense when he's in them. So he could be a karmic partner in this life, but he's not a physical karmic partner, right? Interesting. I had not thought of that till this very moment. So if you connect to one of your partners, energetically wise, and that's more in my book, Soulful Connections, that's going to be coming out. You can't have a karmic partner, soul connection, energetically, but they're not physically here. Interesting. Hey, I had an aha moment. And you know what? I love those because, hell, I don't know everything. Just a human. Nobody knows anything. I don't care what kind of guru you talk to. Um, who's going past my house now? Um, what guru you're talking to? Nobody knows everything. Nobody is all wise and all knowing. No, no, because we're human beings. And in case you haven't noticed, I don't. If you're new to me and to my podcast life, I don't edit these podcasts because life is chaotic. There you go. So let's go on. So the chaos of karmic ties. Now that we know what karmic partners are, let's talk about the chaos they bring and why it's so hard to walk away from them. I'm telling you, hubby one, hubby two, chaos. Chaos, both relationships, from from first breath in to last breath out. It was they both forced me very much so to grow. I'll give them that. And it was very hard to walk away from both of them. Um, Karmic relationships feel very addictive because they're energetically wired to trigger your deepest wounds, which is probably why they pissed me off all the effing time. This is not because you're weak. You're not a weak person. You're not. It's because your soul set it up in this way to catalyze. That's not the right word. To get the ball rolling. We'll say that to get the ball rolling on healing. The emotional roller coaster often includes love bombing. I love that word, love bombing. Intense affection early on, and they both were very intense. Conflicts that escalate quickly. Oh hell yeah. The feeling that you can't breathe with them, but you can't breathe without them, but you also can't breathe with them. So very true. Guilt, anxiety, jealousy, emotions running amok. Most certainly. If you constantly try to fix them or lose your identity to make the relationship work, that's not love. Okay. And I did this for both of them. Hindsight's a wondrous thing, isn't it? That's karmic chaos. And it's doing its job, showing you where you still need healing. The purpose of the chaos is not to punish you, it's to wake you up. So let's peel back the veil even further. Why would we ever agree to such painful relationships? Why? Because of soul contracts, which I talked about more in depth in episode one of Mystical Minds. Now, before you came into this life, you made agreements with certain souls. You did. Agreements like help me learn self respect, teach me to set boundaries, force me to choose myself even when it hurts. And that's what I did for both of them, that last one. Your karmic partner is fulfilling their end of the bargain, even if it feels brutal. The hidden truth is this: once the lesson is learned, the contract is fulfilled. If you stay longer than the lesson requires, you begin to suffer unnecessarily. We often cling because the connection feels unfinished. But sometimes completion doesn't mean staying, it means growing beyond it. And yeah, I stayed longer than I should have for either relationship. So let's remember, everybody, the goal of karmic connection is not permanence, it's transformation. Now comes the hardest and the most beautiful part of it all: letting go with grace. When we resist letting go, we stay stuck in suffering. When we release with gratitude, we honor the sacred purpose of the connection. Here are two simple rituals that you can do to let go gracefully. You can write a goodbye letter, but you don't send it, all right? You write a letter to your karmic partner. Thank them for the lessons, acknowledge what you learned, forgive them, forgive yourself, then destroy the letter. You can burn it, tear it up, bury it. It's a symbolic release, okay? It does feel very freeing to write it all down and then release what you said into the ethers. So I always recommend burning it in a fireproof bowl that is not metal. Okay. And then two, cord cutting visualization. So you want to visualize or imagine, it's the same thing, a cord between you and your karmic partner, flowing from your heart to theirs. Imagine cutting it with golden scissors, sealing your own heart with light. Send them love and reclaim your energy. And most importantly, reframe letting go. It isn't defeat, it's a declaration that your soul has graduated from that chapter. Letting go isn't failure, it's mastery. Now, if you like a good book like I do, and you want a book on cord cutting or energy cutting, the book Energy Strands by Denise Lynn, excellent book, highly recommend it. It is, of course, below in the show's notes if you want to go check it out. Now, today we uncover the truth about karmic partners. They're not punishments, they're not forever. What they are sacred contracts designed to accelerate your growth. When you recognize the chaos for what it is, honor the contract and release it with grace. You open the door to soul connections that are healthy, vibrant, and aligned with the new you. God, I wish I knew this stuff in my 20s. Really. I knew this stuff in my 20s and in my 30s. Yes, it would have saved me pain. Um, Maybe I wouldn't have learned the lesson correctly, but um, I think it would have saved me a lot of heartache in the process. Um, and I don't know if it would have allowed me to learn the lesson or not. Our theme for April was soul contracts and spiritual relationships. The theme for May, I'm really looking forward to, is energy and the subtle body because energy is everything. Energy, uh, everything is energy, everything. They just vibrate at different frequencies. That is why out of body ecstasy is so wonderful because everything is energy. Calm down, kitty cats. Everything is energy, and energy is everywhere. And there are no boundaries, only the boundaries you create. Okay. Always have healthy boundaries, but energy is everywhere. All right. That's a wrap. On this episode of Mystical Minds, I hope it sparked something inside of you, a memory, a knowing, a nudge from your soul. If you love what we explored today, please don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who needs a little magic in their life. And if you're craving more, come over and join the Mystical Minds group. It's a safe, sacred space to explore everything from energy work to soul connections, intuition, spirit guides, and more. You'll find support, community, and your people. And if you walk the metaphysical path and you would love to share your wisdom on the podcast, whether you're an energy worker, intuitive, a healer, or just somebody with some wild spiritual story, I'd love to hear from you. I'm currently booking guests. The link is below in the show's notes. You can also book a private reading or maybe a soul session with me anytime at outofbodyecstasy.com. I've got you whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper connection to your soul path. And until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and remember, you're not lost. You're just remembering who you are.